So Elaine, first of all, can you tell me, tell us a bit about how you kind of got started working in the pottery industry, and just wait till he's finished doing that. Yeah, the same goes, as I said to Dorothy, so we didn't know that they were doing this building work today, so I do apologise. How did you kind of start working in the pots then?
Mine was a similar story. Mine was through my mum. But I was always good at art at school. And my mum always said to me, always go for something that you like doing, don't go for the money. And she says, I'll see if I can get you a job on Beswick's. So I finished in December, after Christmas, I was on Beswick's. And that was at 15. And I stayed there till I had my first girl, and she was born in 60. Oh.
Is that my phone vibrating?
Is that mine?
No, is it mine?
It's that one, I think.
Oh, I'm ever so sorry about that, Elaine. We'll start again, okay? I'll put it in my pocket. I do beg your pardon. Is there a bit of a shadow from that mic stuff? Just keep your headset so I can't see it, I think.
Oh, I can see one now. Okay, you're alright then.
Okay, sorry.
I've got, yeah, that's okay.
Sorry, it's just this microphone sounds slightly casting a shadow over your head. I do beg your pardon. Is it the back that I think? That's okay, isn't it now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's alright.
Right, we'll go from the start, Elaine. I'm sorry about that.
It's all right.
So, first of all, can you tell us, how did you get started working in the pottery industry?
Through my mum. As I say, she always said, always go for what you like doing. Because if it's never a job, it's never a chore then. And I was always good at art. So she said to me, I'll see if she was already on Beswick's, and I'll see if I can get you a job on there. So she did, and I finished in November. In December, I was on Beswick's. But my mum had been there a lot of years then.
Did you find that kind of when you started on the fact, you mentioned your mum got you a job, and a few people have said my sister was there. Was there a kind of almost like a family thing whereby if your parents or your siblings were there, then you could get a job there?
Yeah, that's why it was a lot of family atmosphere, because you were all mingled together with your brothers and sisters. Even my son joined Beswick's years later.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So kind of during your time working in the pots, did you stay at Beswick's or did you go somewhere else after that?
After that, I left to have Dorothy and I. We were pregnant at the same time. We both left in 69. But they didn't keep your jobs open in them days. You didn't have maternity leave where your job was guaranteed to you. But Beswick's always allowed us back. They always saved the jobs. And I didn't go back after I had my second son. I went into hairdressing and went that way. But I wasn't happy with it at all. So I came back to Longton because I was living in Newcastle. And Beswick's phoned me up and said, will you come and help us out? Please come and help us out. So I said, oh, okay then. 22 years later when I left. So I'd done a lot of years with them. But it was the atmosphere. I think with Hewitt and John Beswick, they made it that way, brothers. They always just come round to see how you were and things like that. They weren't stuck in the office and you were just a number on the floor. But that's how it went when Dalton's took over. I mean, Hewitt and John Beswick used to IA Longton Town Hall.
Sorry about that, Elaine. I might have to go downstairs. Just to wait for it. That's better stuff. So it's quite interesting what you were saying then, Elaine, about the kind of atmosphere that was there. So what were you going to say then, I beg your pardon, about they used to hire...
What the brothers used to do, they used to hire Longton Town Hall, and we all used to go there for a dinner and dance. You could take your partner, and you used to have Reg Bassett's band, and that's why the atmosphere stayed there as a family thing. And we all used to buy people different things if we go to that dinner and dance. No, I'll buy you shoes, you buy something else, you know. But it was a lovely atmosphere.
Was that kind of an annual thing then, that dinner and dance?
Yeah, until the brothers actually finished. Yeah.
That shadow's still there.
Can't work out what's coming. So we've got... Somehow we've got a shadow being cast on your face. I do apologise. It must be, it's got to be from this one.
Yeah, it is. I don't get why. Maybe it's from the spotlight.
That might be it.
It's all right if the shadow's taking some of the light out.
Sorry about this, Elaine.
It's all right.
People hammering and shadows. Still, I think it is those spotlights.
It's not, it's more there now.
Well, of course.
Can you see?
Yeah. What about the other side?
Would you wait behind you?
Should be there.
You're going to be in shot though, then.
How much?
Still in shot. You're alright then.
Is that still in shot?
Yeah.
How very in shot?
Just the where that light is looped.
Could you rearrange the tripod just slightly? Could you come a bit closer or something? Watch that light.
Yeah. It'll just have to be a little tighter.
Let's do that then.
Okay.
How tight is tight?
It's
Sorry
alright.
about this.
It's alright then.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
It's like Chinese torture, isn't it?
You have to give them a rubber hammer.
Oh, they're putting slabs down, aren't they? No need for it like that.
Yeah, we're just having to work around them at the moment, unfortunately. So, is that okay?
Yeah.
Sure, okay. So, Elaine, you mentioned kind of like the atmosphere amongst colleagues and stuff. Can you kind of expand upon that? What was it like then, the atmosphere on the...
Oh, the atmosphere was great. I mean, some of the people that were over us, they'd even join in with us they've had the girls doing troop up and down the shop and things like that. And when we used to have an hour's dinner, we used to do different things. We'd play games and they'd join in. You know, that's the sort of atmosphere they were. Later on, our bosses used to dress up and serve us at Christmas dinner. It was just one of them. It's just one of them things. The atmosphere did stay a bit when Dalton's taken over, but I think it's because the old Beswick people talked them into things. But yeah, I've got loads of photographs where they used to dress up and come and serve us Christmas dinner in the canteen and things like that. Yeah.
What was the relationship like with other women on the floor then? I mean, I presume that, Dorothy's mentioned that there was a big proportion of the workforce were women. So what was your relationship like with the other women there, and how important were they for the factory?
It was important because I never had any sisters, so as Dorothy said, they were They were all like one sister. They all used to help one another. And same as if somebody couldn't finish the work off, they'd say, well, I'll finish that off for you. You go and do something else. And that's what you'd do. Even if you were piecework, you did that for help one another.
And for yourself, were you on piecework or did you do the
Yeah, I
work?
did go piecework eventually, yeah.
How did you find kind of like piecework? How was that kind of working with that?
It was all right, because same as say, because people there, we helped one another. I mean, at one time, Dalton's got a machine in, because I went glazing as well. They got a machine in to do my job, and they found out the machine couldn't do it as well as us, so they had to scrap the machine. There was 3 of us glazing at the time, and they had to scrap the machine because it couldn't do what we could do.
So it's kind of that kind of human kind of input was presumably was invaluable then.
Oh yeah, yeah. When I finished on Beswicks eventually, because I had to go at 59 because they were asking people to go, they didn't ask me to go, they wanted me to stay because they didn't want pay me what I would be having at the end of the time. But I had to have counselling to leave that factory. They brought a counsellor on because it affected people that much.
Oh really?
Yeah, yeah. We had an office upstairs where people had to go and talk to a counsellor.
I'll ask you a couple more questions about that, Elaine.
Yeah, that's a really good point. That I can just do with people showing.
I can ask you about that again, Elaine. In particular, we are quite interested in kind of like the effects that when the factories closed down and people were kind of made redundant, what sort of effects that had. So I mean, with regards kind of Beswicks then, so you mentioned that they brought in a counsellor then to talk to people when they were...
Dalton's were doing it then, but they brought a counsellor in because it affected people that much. In fact, when I said I'd take somebody else's redundancy, I actually went back to the office and said, I can't go. And they said, don't be silly, do you think this factory will shut down when you aren't there? And it was just because it was so much part of my life, I just couldn't handle it. And they said, well, we have fetched a counsellor in, and he's seeing 1 or 2 other people, would you like to see him? So I said, oh yeah. But lo and behold, it did shut down 2 years later. But a lot of the skills have gone. Where we used to, if we did a tiger, we painted the stripes on. They tried to do it lithographing, and it didn't work because it wasn't as good as the freehand painters.
So there's a few things I just want to pick up on there. Just to go back to the counselling part. So from your kind of perspective, just as an overall thing, what kind of effect did it have on people and communities then when the factories kind of had to close and stuff? What sort of effect did you kind of see on people and their lives?
I mean, when they first went, because they were having the money and that was all right. But some people I was 59 at the time, and you think, how the heck am I going to get another job? And but I didn't even have to worry about it. When I got home, I got a phone call, will you come and do some glazing for me? On another factory called Hartley Greens. So with that, I was chuffed a bit because I was actually going back. But the atmosphere wasn't the same. It was the same as say, it was that family thing at that time.
Why do you think... We'll stop in a second. Why do you... There you go, step out of the way, some don't show in a second. Why do you think it was... Why do you think that they had to bring in counsellors then to kind of support people? What was the sort of the effects and why would people...
I don't know why they brought them in, but it was just a case of you'd have time to sit and talk to people and tell them how you felt about going. It wasn't the fact that I was just losing the job, it was the fact that you were like, oh, I've been put on the scrap heap now, what am I going to do? I felt worthless at the time because of their atmosphere had gone.
The next point you mentioned about hand painting the stripes. So for you, do you think that a lot of people saw what you did as being a creative job? Did you feel that you were involved in a creative role?
Yeah, because when I went on Artley Greens, they found out I'd been painting. And they had me taking designs off tea cloths and putting them on cups and saucers and things like that. So, I mean, even though the eyes and that were in when you painted horses and that was fine. But when you come for putting the spots on Dalmatians and things like that, people couldn't believe that we got everyone so much alike. It was a creative job.
And how did you feel, I mean, and also just in general, how did you feel to be a part of this process then? That this stuff, these pieces that you were creating were so collectible and sold all around the world and
proud.
Homes. How did it feel to be a part of that?
You felt proud. Same as when you mentioned Beswick's, you could get a job anywhere. It was just, well, I didn't think that at the time because I'd only known Beswick's mainly. You just think there's no other factory other than that.
And in your time working in the industry, I mean, what kind of changes did you see? Was there anything in particular, perhaps health and safety or technology or anything like
Health
that?
and safety was the main. Health and safety, it did a lot. I did some good, but I also think it wasn't all good. I can't think offhand. Don't know what I can give you for.
Were there kind of changes in practices and the way that you did stuff that were have to be in line with health and safety, or was there anything in particular that changed that you didn't agree with, or that you did agree with?
No, because I mean we had special overalls and things like that, but I can't think offhand. I just know health and safety did stop a lot of things where you could get away with things and get your job done quicker. Or you can't do it that way now because of health and safety. And that's what spoilt a lot of things. Because you knew a quicker way. It's like driving a car, you know another street, but your sat-nav tells you go another way. And it's like that. But you could do it better and quicker without the health and safety.
Now, when you kind of look back at your life then, and kind of your life working in the potteries, how do you feel when you kind of look back? How does it make you feel to think of what you've achieved and what you're a part of?
I feel proud of what I've done, but I wish I could go out there and teach young uns what I knew. Because that trade's going. They're losing the skills. And I'm in a thing on the internet with Beswick's, and all the old Beswick people have said they'd go back tomorrow. If we could have saved that factory, if we could have afforded to save that factory ourselves, we would have done. It was just, well, I suppose anybody in any factory as regards to potteries, because a lot of people were happy in their jobs, but I don't know how other factories work, because I was mainly Beswick's. Even when Dalton's took over, all the old Beswick people kept calling it Beswick's. It was just imprinted on your mind.
That was fantastic, thank you, Elaine. Thank you for taking the time to do that.